Let's talk about a situation that many educators will be facing as we go through some of the changes through the Department of Education. So, if you are working a what is considered a grant funded or non-essential position, meaning that it's not paid for out of your local budget, the budget that is allocated from the state and from your municipality, then you may be facing loss of a job simply because grant dollars that come from federal funding from the Department of Education, in things like Title One. So your literacy coaches, your math coaches, your some of your social workers, those things that are tied to Title One, they may see a decrease in funding. If it's Title Nine, they may see a decrease in funding. If it's Carl Perkins money, you may see a decrease in funding for the district. Well, the district has to make up for that, and they do that by figuring out what they need to, who they can eliminate. So let's talk about that because I received a message from a very dedicated educator who is currently at this crossroads. Hey there, strategy lady. Hey, long time no see. So let's talk about that. So as she sent her message in to me, she communicated, that her campus doesn't have a clear role for her right now. And this is the time when they are calling teachers in. Of course, you already know this, to talk to you about your role, if you're going to change grade levels, if they will be eliminating positions, if you've been caught up in a layoff or any of that. So she's been contacted because her campus doesn't have a clear role for her at this point, and she has been offered a position, but it doesn't reflect or support her full expertise. So she's weighing her options. Should she go back into the classroom as a classroom teacher? So many folks whose positions are being eliminated, they will be asked if they would like to go back into the classroom. And then they may explore options of moving you to a different campus out of your building to another building that's still within the district. And so you have to make a decision about what it is you want to do. And I want to help you to have some thoughts around it. I want to give you some practical strategies that you can put in place and give you some ways to think about this so that it's really beneficial to you. Because what I do want to tell you is that you're not stuck. I do want to tell you that you don't have to do what you don't want to do, and you don't have to quit your job. But stick with me. I got some strategies for you. Listen here. So I want you to know this scenario is not unique. It's not just happening because of the new administration. People will tell you that this is typical and it happens during the school year. It's also an excuse that school districts use to get rid of people that they wanted to get rid of anyway, but they didn't put the time or the effort in. And this is an easy way for them to be able to release people as well. Not saying that that's what's happening to her, but I'm also letting you all know that because as I was in leadership, that was one of the things that they did to move some people along that was in my building and other buildings as well. So it's some hard truths that's going to happen here, but my goal is for you to be strategic as well as proactive. We're not sitting back waiting for somebody to save us. So let's break this down. First of all, the first thing that I want to say is those decisions that are made at higher levels. So you are a teacher, you are a coach, you are whatever your role is that's not in the classroom working direct contact with students every single day. You shouldn't be letting that reflect your value. Okay. So, first of all, you're talented, you're gifted, you're amazing. And whether that role is being eliminated or not, please do not tie your who you are to the role that you work. So that's the role that you work. You're still going to be the person that you have been. Even though there's been a change in funding, that doesn't mean that you are less capable or that you're less valuable. So we don't want this to be a judgment on your skills or on your dedication to the job. That's not what this is. This is this district deciding to make a decision. And you have to always understand that the district is always going to do what is in their best interest. They are never going to make a decision that's in your best interest. And I know a lot of educators, I've heard them say it. Oh, my principal likes me. Oh, we are cool. I'm cool with the superintendent. Oh, that's my cousin's brother. You know what? Good for them. But at the end of the day, the district is always going to do what is in the district's best interest. So I advise you to always do what is in your best interest. Stop thinking that the district can't go on, the kids are not going to know what to do, or the building is going to fall apart because you are not there. That's not what's going to happen. They're not even going to remember your name next year. Now, the person who sent me the email, fortunately for her, she will be able to retire in December 2026. So she has to go through the 2025-2026 school year, and she will start the 2026-2027 school year, and then she will retire halfway through. But let's explore the options, okay? Hey, Felicia, she said, loved your masterclass this past Saturday, and thanks for answering my questions. You are so welcome, Felicia. Felicia, you need to get that program into some of these schools and make some of this good money. I'll talk about that on another live. Okay, so I want you to explore some of those options. So some people might settle and go back to the classroom. It's totally up to you. You might be thinking that it's the only way to secure a steady paycheck, but I want you to ask yourself, are you content to just wait until retirement? Now, am I going to say it will be a smart decision to quit your job and you are 1.5 years away from retirement? No, that wouldn't be smart. Okay. We make moves that matter. We are smart people. Okay. But I can help you to work around some of that should you need to. So you have some options right now. You could pursue another role in the district that, may or may not be in the classroom. It may be at another campus, but they may value your expertise, and it may keep you excited enough to allow you to do your year and a half without being resentful and angry and all of those things. So I would definitely say explore those options, and don't settle for comfort. A lot of times we like to stay in the building that we're in because we know the principal, we know the teachers. I've been here for 10 years, I've been here for 12 years. This is where I started at. Stop doing that to yourself. If there's a position over in the other school that is 12 miles away from your school, and it's going to allow you to work in your area of expertise, it's not going to send you backwards, but it's going to continue to move you forward, it's okay. Take the extra 10-minute drive. We come up with all of these different reasons why we want to stay in our comfort zone. Our goal is not to stay in our comfort zone. So you can do that. And you can also continue to pitch your services to secure better opportunities. When I say pitch your services, I mean to other school districts, to other principals. I wouldn't even sit back waiting. Like if that were me and I know that I didn't want to go back into the classroom, I would be sending emails to the principals that are in the other buildings, letting them know that my position is being eliminated and pitching myself. I would let them know the value that I bring and how I can support them in their building if they're looking to accept the transfer. But I definitely would not sit back waiting for someone to come and seek me out. The next thing I want you to do, and this is for, different strategies are for different people, but now is the time to get strategic, okay? This is what I recommend. Now, don't judge me. We listen, but we don't judge, okay? Make sure you have your FMLA paperwork in place, okay? You got time right now. Right now, you got time to be building your case. You got time to be building your case. If you have a parent or grandparent who is ill or, who's not at 100%, they don't even have to be ill. Go get your FMLA paperwork in place. If you have a medical condition, a lot of us are walking around with medical conditions. Hey, Care Cozy, hey. A lot of us are walking around with medical conditions, and we just continue to show up and we act like there's nothing wrong with us. No, you need to let the doctor know that you need to get your FMLA paperwork in place. You got diabetes, you have high blood pressure, you have whatever the thing is you have, or you have a child who has some type of condition, but you've never pursued the FMLA right. Go get your FMLA in place, okay? And then here's the next thing I want you to do. If you have not checked out what your accidental and supplementary insurance plan is, check it out. See, I'm not one of those people who give y'all fake stuff. I'm gonna give you the real stuff because you better stop worrying about that school and worry about yourself, honey. A lot of these schools give you supplementary. Hey, thanks for joining. A lot of these schools give you FMLA. First of all, teachers are the number one group of people who do not utilize their FMLA right. So you need to first check into your FMLA. You can get it for yourself, you can get it for your children, or you can get it for your parents or your grandparents, whomever may need care. It does not mean that they are living with you and that you're taking care of them. It means that you are their support system. So I had FMLA on my mom. My mom was fully able-bodied, fully capable, drove herself everywhere, but I would go to doctor's appointments with her. And if anything happened, I was the point of contact. So I would need to leave, miss work, stay at the hospital, whatever. Kara Cozy said, they don't want to hear that. I'm always telling people about FMLA. I know, you know what? It's so interesting that teachers don't like to say that there is something wrong with them. Listen here, y'all better stop playing and go get the FMLA paperwork filled out. Have it on file, even if you don't use it. Just have it on file. And then the second thing you want to do, you want to read your paperwork about your supplementary and accidental insurance. I'm not talking about your life insurance. I'm talking about if you get hurt, if you get injured, if you have to go to the hospital, and then what is your supplementary insurance? You need to know what the payout is. Trust me when I tell you this, because stuff happens and you don't even know what's going to happen. And then we show up at work. We have someone right now in my sister's district who has been going to work, had an injury to her leg, had to have surgery, went by ambulance, and was at work on crutches, trying to work in a middle school, mind you, in a middle school, where it is very dangerous to be on crutches with an injury after having surgery if those kids knock her over, bump into her, anything. And so my sister simply said to her, she was like, why are you here? And she said that she ran out of sick days. And she was like, but you have accidental insurance that'll pay you 60% of your pay while you're out. She didn't even know it. She got paid for her ambulance ride because she had to take the ambulance. She had to stay overnight in the hospital. She had to get those x-rays, and she had 60% pay for absentee if she had to miss work. This woman coming to work, putting herself in danger because she had not read her policy, had not even filed a claim. So all I'm saying is you need to read that paperwork and know what you have in place, because honey, you already paying for it. The district paid for it for you. It's not a choice. The district is already paying for it for you. So anyway, let me keep going. Next, I want you to read your handbook and know your rights. I want you to prepare for the possibility of transition. You prepare by reading your handbook. You need to know how many days can you miss. You need to know whether or not you can take a sabbatical. You need to know what paperwork has to be filled out. What are the reasons that it would be denied? Can you take days out? What are the rules? This is the problem. We think that HR is there for us. It is not. Human resources is there to protect the district and the district's assets. They don't care about you. You can try to tell yourself that they care about you. You better care about you. We got to learn to be loyal to ourselves. Now, the next thing I want you to understand is that you got to protect yourself and position yourself for the future. Stop thinking that, oh, well, I don't want to be difficult. Girl, stop. Listen here. You better protect yourself and take care of yourself, because this is the time for us to be loyal to the ones that matter, and that's you and your family. That district don't care that they're releasing you and that you have no other way to pay your bills. They're going to pay you through June 30th, 2025. And then when that's finished, if ain't no position for you, they going on about their business. They're not going to check on you. They're not going to call to see how you're doing. If you go to the hospital today, you may not even get flowers. But let me move on. So I want us to stop being so fearful. We will take a role out of fear instead of stand in what we know and believe that God can do for us in faith. One of my friends said to me today, she said, when you go, she said, this is how strong your faith should be. And she was talking about all of us. She was saying, when you go to sit in a chair, do you ever worry that it's going to break? You're always confident that the chair is going to hold you in your weight. That's what faith is. You never go to sit down and think to yourself, oh my God, I hope this chair doesn't break. Oh my God, am I too heavy for this? Oh my God, are the legs weak on this? No, because you have faith and you know that that chair will hold your weight. It's going to hold you and you never even question it. Why do you question God? I'm just wondering. Why do you question God? Why do we make decisions out of fear? God ain't took you this for to turn you around and turn you backwards. That's not how it works. But we have to. Too many of us let fear and the fear of change and of judgment keep us in roles that underutilize our talents. I want us to really stop waiting and stop allowing other people to make decisions for us. We won't do anything until our back is against the wall. When the principal is after you, that's when you decide I need to do something. When the new superintendent comes in and they changing everything, that's when you decide I got to do something. But the whole while you've been sitting in misery, you've been underutilized, you have not been happy for a long time, but you were too comfortable and too scared of fear, change, and judgment to make a decision to do something for yourself. Well, for some people, this is about to be your wake up call. This is about to be your wake up call because your future should be built on your terms and not on somebody else's terms. It shouldn't be your dream shouldn't be dictated by somebody else's vision because the district has a new vision. It impacts whether or not you get to feed your family, whether or not you get to go on vacation. That's not the way this is supposed to work. And that's not what you should be doing. I just need us to know this. So I want you to know you're not alone in this. There are a lot of people, all of us have been impacted. I do federal contracts. I work in the world of education. I do contracts in the school system. My business has been impacted by the executive orders that have been passed down because, again, I do federal contracting in the different agencies of the government. I go in, I do leadership training and executive coaching, and some of those contracts have been discontinued. That greatly impacts my bottom line in my business. Do you think I sat back and was like, oh my God, what I'm gonna do? No, that means that we're finna push harder and we're gonna go out and get some more contracts to replace those contracts because we know where the money came from and we know where new money is going to. So go get new contracts. But what I'm not doing, you didn't hear me say, I'm gonna go back into the school system because I need a job. A job can't pay me the money that I'm making now, and it don't give me the freedom or the level of the ability for me to use my level of expertise at this level in a school system. That's not the answer. The answer is to pivot. The answer is to come into 2025 with a renewed perspective and the willingness to step out in faith. Am I telling her to step out in faith? No, that's not what I'm doing. She got to make that decision herself. But I'm telling you, do not make decisions out of fear. Jacqueline says, you better preach up in here. So, if you're facing uncertainty, just know you're not alone. A lot of people are facing uncertainty. But just like you go and sit in a chair and you never doubt that that chair will hold you, you should never be in fear or in doubt with your faith. I believe that God has gotten me through every one of my worst situations, every one of my worst days. I have survived every bad day, have not been let down, and always came out better. And sometimes God gives you what you need, and sometimes you don't even know you need it. But let me give you some more little practical tips, honey. Let me give you, for the people who serious, you serious. If you serious, let me help you out because I'm good at this, okay? 4 things you can do right now, practical tips. If you think your position is going to be eliminated, if you are wondering if my position is going to be eliminated, if you know you might be on the chopping block. Now, I done already told you, number 1, go get your FMLA paperwork filled out. Okay, I'll do a different live to tell you what to do with that FMLA because guess what? They can't fire you when you're on FMLA and you sit at home. Okay. Number 2, so many of us, Jacqueline says, thank you. So many of us will be so concerned about our credit score. We are so concerned about maintaining our credit. Girl, I got a 750 credit score. Girl, I done worked so hard to get to this 720. What's the point in having credit if you can't use it to change your life? Credit should not be used to go on trips and to buy shoes and purses and to put gas in your car. That's not the purpose of credit. The purpose of credit is to be an asset that can take you to the next level. So listen here, and I'm talking to the people whose jobs are on the chopping block. You know that you're in the midst of a change. Go get you some additional credit cards right now. Did you hear me? Yep, I said it. I'm gonna say it so that you can understand. Go get you a couple of additional credit cards right now. Use that credit. I'm not saying go out and run up a whole bunch of debt. This is just a simple backup plan in case things go a little haywire. Sometimes things take a little longer than what it needs to take. Have you a couple of credit cards where you can push through a little bit, because this is the one thing that I will tell you. When you need credit, they are not going to give it to you. Do you understand that? So you have to get the credit when you don't need it and just have it available for you just in case you need it. You do not have to spend the money on the credit card, but you need to get the credit now. Get you a couple of credit cards. The third thing that I'm going to tell you, and teachers are notorious for this, educators are so notorious for this. Do not go asking for references. Nobody feels like writing you a letter. Nobody wants to do that. Okay, we're not doing that anymore. What do I want you to do? I want you to identify 3 key people who you know will give you a great reference. I'm not saying they're going to write a letter. Listen to me. Stop trying to overthink. Just go and go and talk to them and let them know, hey, I was just wondering, is it okay if I need a reference, if I can put you down? Would you be able to attest to my work here at the school? That's all you're asking them to do. You're not asking them to write a letter. You're not asking them for any of that, because right now you don't have anything lined up. But if you know you have the ability to get for them to answer the call when the reference comes, and a lot of times they don't even want the reference anymore. You're going to fill out that form, put their name on it, and then they're going to receive an email where they fill it out in email. Hey there. Hey, Maria. Hey, what's going on? Oh, that's so awesome. She said she learns a lot from me. So I want you to just go have the conversation. And here's the thing. Wait a minute. We're not having this defeat. That's not what we're doing. We are going to be experiencing a transition, and I'm trying to put a few things in place. I was wondering if you might be okay with me using you as a reference, should I need to. Plain and simple. You don't have to go into, they eliminated my position and that new superintendent came in and the principal said that. You don't have to do all of that. Just let them know, hey, I might be in the middle of a transition, and I was just wondering if I might be able to put you down as a reference. Would you be able to attest to my work here in the district? What they gonna say? No, they're gonna be like, sure. All right, I sure do appreciate it. Thank you so much, and walk away. A lot of times we just talk too much. We do too much talking. The other thing that I want us to know is that how you take this is how people are going to receive it from you. So if you are presenting this like it's a travesty, like you're a victim, everything is happening to you, when you're telling about what happened, first of all, you shouldn't be telling anybody about what happens. That's how rumors get started. A lot of times we start our own trail of talking. Felicia said, you're so right about how teachers need to care and protect ourselves. We absolutely do. And I get into how a part of that is the indoctrination that they sent us through, but I'm here to help us come out of some of that indoctrination. But when you're talking about this position, you need to be excited about this new opportunity. You need to be excited about the change, and you need to be looking forward to getting to meet new people, networking at a broader level. And as you're out, start spreading the word, start letting people know, hey, I'm transitioning. And for the people who are going to go into their business full time, again, you let them know, hey, just want to let you know I'm transitioning into my business full time. And if you can refer me to anybody, that will be amazing. I'm looking to try to close a contract or 2 within the next 30 days. Any support you can give me will be absolutely amazing. People are more willing to help you than you know. The problem is they never knew how to help you. You never would ask. And a lot of times we won't even receive the help. When they say they're going to help, we'll be like, oh, that's okay. Oh, that's so nice of you. That's okay, though. I got it. Oh, yeah, that's all right, girl. Yeah, I appreciate it. No, you need to be saying, you would do that for me? Oh, thank you so much. I so appreciate that. That does not make you weak. That does not make you a bad person. That does not make you little. It makes you little when you can't receive the help and you're always helping other people. This is the time to reach into the social capital that you have. Reach out to the people. Let them know, hey, I'm in need of a position. I'm looking, The executive orders went down. My position was funded through Title II, and so my position is now being eliminated. And so I'm looking to see where I might be able to take my skills and talent to. You don't have to sit back acting like it's the end of the world. You have no options. You have options. And now for those who say, hey, I'm ready to move on and start my own business, baby, come on, set up that call and let's talk about how we can get you into consulting, okay? So you always have that option. I need for us to stop thinking that you don't have any options. There are districts, community organizations, charter schools, all of these places will pay you to come in and share your expertise, but you cannot show up as a teacher. Once you leave the teacher world, you can't continue to act like a teacher. And so that requires some letting go and some unlearning if you're deciding to go into the consulting world. If I want to take some time to show people some of the RFPs that are out that are for requesting people to submit their ability to do the work and the amount of money that you can make. I sent out today a couple of RFPs that were worth $200,000. They're looking for somebody to come in, and these are RFPs that are due before the new school year. So this is the work ends on July 1, 2025. Did you hear me when I said the work ends on July 1, 2025? And so they're looking for some leadership coaching, some admin training, some teacher training, the arts educators. They're looking for people to come in and train in the arts. And let me tell y'all an area that has just been explosive. Like, I've never seen this type of response before. Early childhood literacy. Every other opportunity that I look at is about early childhood literacy. And they are literally looking for people to support age 3 to grade 3. It's a very specific group of people. They're looking for those early childhood educators that start at age 3 all the way up to 3rd grade. So this is the thing that I want you all to start doing. I want you to stop thinking to yourself, oh, I don't do 3-year-olds. Oh, well, I got elementary experience, but I don't go that far. No, break it apart, people. Do you know how to teach phonemic awareness? Do you have a special way that you teach small group learning centers? Like, break it apart. Stop thinking that everything has to be one big chunk like you do in the school system. When you're consulting, you do breakout. So one of the things that I've made the most money off of is math talks, teaching math teachers how to do math talks, how to go in, take the curriculum that you already have that typically gives you your lesson, your practice problems, and all of those things. And I show them how to do math talks. And then, of course, after we do the math talks, they want to know, well, what else do you offer? Well, then I show them how to do math centers. And it's based off of their curriculum. I'm not bringing anything in with me. I'm taking their curriculum and I'm showing them how they can set up centers. So if we're doing a base 10, if we're doing base 10, then we're going to have different centers that focus on the base 10 strategies. And so we're going to do a math talk in the morning. Let me tell y'all, this one district paid me $3,500 to come in and show these teachers how to use Graham Fletcher videos in their math curriculum. If you don't know who Graham Fletcher is, he does those videos Getting Fletchy, and he's just a regular teacher who's been in the classroom, and he puts these word problems and stuff together, and he puts them on YouTube. It's absolutely free. He also puts them on his website, and they needed somebody to come in and do organize. How do you implement it? How do you integrate it into the curriculum? Because they are high engagement. And so they paid me to come in and do a one-day workshop. I did 3 hours that morning showing them different ways to do it. And I had to do K through 5. So that was the whole morning. I did an example from kindergarten, one from first, one from second, one from third, one from fourth, and one from fifth, using their curriculum, using a Graham Fletcher video, letting them experience it at the table, and then talk about it and work through the problem. And then as they went to lunch, they came back, and then they had time to take their curriculum and grab the videos, look at some Graham Fletcher videos and put them into their lesson plans that they will be implementing. I stayed in the room to give them any support that they needed. At about 2 o'clock, We had a few people stand up and showcase what they created, what lessons they're going to do. We put a few strategies into place, and they gave me a 5-star review. They were like, this was amazing. This was such a good use of time. Honey, my check hit the account. I was pleased as pie, okay? Pleased as pie. I didn't have to do anything but what I would have normally have done to support my teachers in the school system or in the classroom. So when I tell you that there are opportunities that are available to you, you got to stop thinking that you need to teach everything. You don't need to teach everything. You need to focus on the thing that you're really good at and teach that thing, just that one thing. If you are really good at teaching third graders how to do multiplication tables, that's the thing you teach. Multiplication, mastering multiplications in third grade. You don't have to teach the whole third grade curriculum. I'm telling you, people are looking for you. You got all of these charter schools, these micro schools. You got all of these places that are opening up. These vouchers are about to go into play where they're giving people money to send their kids to charter schools and private schools. What do you think that's going to do? What do you think is going to happen? These charter schools and these private schools and these religious schools are going to get a new group of kids. They're not going to be able to manage them because you're going to bring different cultures and different backgrounds into a setting. So they're going to need support. What's going to happen to a private school that does not have special education, and then they get some kids who come in who are dyslexic? They got to now get a training on dyslexia and how to support this kid. So there are opportunities that are available for you. Whenever there is a challenge and whenever there is chaos, there is always opportunity. Yeah, it's a little shakeup to begin with. Yeah, it makes you a little nervous, but you need to stand in faith that what's for you is for you, and that God ain't never took nothing away from you that wasn't gonna move you, that was gonna keep you from moving forward. Okay. So as long as we know that, stand in faith. Have the same amount of faith that you have when you sit in a chair every day. When you go sit down, you never ever doubt that that chair is going to give way and that you're going to fall on your butt. And here's the kicker. Even if you sat in a chair and it broke or it was unstable and you fell, you got up and you went and sat in another chair. Here we are 2, 3, 5 years later. You're not looking at every chair that you sit in saying, oh, I wonder if it's going to hold me. Oh, I wonder if this one going to break. No, you get up and you dust yourself off and you go to the next thing. We don't have to sit back acting like everything has to keep us down. My aunt says I was able to support a school that didn't know how to work with their transitional housing students. There you go. Transitional housing students. That's a hard one. And people don't know how to help them. They don't know how to support them. And so when you tell someone, this is the work that I do, this is work that I've done, people will begin to think about how they can use you, how they can place you, how they can get you to help them with what they are dealing with. Thank you, Cynthia. Cynthia says, always giving gems. That's right. Jacqueline says, find a bigger chair. Find a bigger chair. That's right. That's right. And some of us need to increase our faith. We have to ask ourselves, who are we believing in? Are we believing in that school system and the paycheck that they give us? Or are we believing in the vision that God gave us and what it is that we were really supposed to do? So once we come to terms with that, I'm telling you, I was just like you. I totally get it. I really did not believe that anybody would ever in the world of education pay me more than $116,000 I was making a year as a school principal. And all I thought is, if I leave, who in a right mind, or where am I going to go that's going to pay me $116,000 in education? Those are not. Luke, y'all, we got a new dog and the dog is cutting up. Okay, Luke, the dog is in there. I can hear him using the bathroom in there. He is not going to be allowed upstairs anymore. Oh my goodness. And the dog looks just like my previous dog. So anyway, I'll post pictures one day. But anyway, so I didn't think that there were any jobs available because we've been led to believe that you can only make $100,000 in a year. We've been led to believe that you only get paid 24 paychecks in a year. And we have this mental model in our mind that we are never, it's very hard for us to understand that there are different ways to do things. But I'm going to give y'all a question that I'm going to keep giving to y'all. I'm going to keep giving it to you. If your kid asked you, or even if you reflect now, ask yourself, did you even try to get rich? Did you even try to get rich? And be honest with yourself. Or did you sit back and settle? If you go and ask your parents right now, mom, dad, did you ever even try to get rich? A lot of our parents are going to tell us no. I was just trying to keep a roof over your head. I was just trying to keep groceries in the freezer. I wanted to get a job and just be able to be comfortable. Y'all, that doesn't have to be us. There is more available for us. We have more options, we have more opportunities, and you have skills and expertise that you can use to change your life. But you cannot do that in fear. You got to let go of the fear, and you also are going to have to take a greater risk. If you want a greater reward, you will have to take a greater risk. So I want you to think about that. Anybody who's wondering how they can make this happen, honey, book a call with me. I have no problem talking to you, sharing with you how you can, giving you a strategy on how you can take your skill and turn it into something that is monetized. It's too many ways to make money out here, and you no longer